All right, so good night, everybody. Welcome to Conversation with Rickford. This has been a Herculean task. All right, so we have some technical difficulties we're just able to clear up. Share the link to everybody. What has happened is that the PPP house slaves who work for Kwame McCoy, they obviously have been trying to block the broadcast, writing Facebook, texting Facebook, complaining to Facebook about the broadcast, saying that this broadcast is promoting violence or whatever it is. That's the normal thing. That's what it did. So we had some technical difficulties, so we've had it cleared up now. Share the link, get into your Guyanese group. Good night, everybody. Text me, let me know where you're watching from. I can see your comments now. Like I said, they try to disrupt the broadcast, but we have capabilities here. This is America, right? You can't block anything from anybody. You can't disrupt freedom of information and freedom of speech in the United States of America. So everybody on purpose now, share this link to everyone you can. Get into all your Guyanese groups. Get into every social media platform you have and share this link with all of your contacts. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. All right, so everybody keep sharing this link. Keep sharing this link. This is important. Listen, I don't understand why everybody else has this show, right? But every time I'm ready to come on social media to do my program, the PvP panics. And they put all of their supporters in a group managed by some people in the office of this so-called Minister of Information, Kwame McCoy, to send hundreds of complaints to Facebook that my broadcast is promoting violence. Wow, that's so magical. What are they scared of? I want to ask PP tonight. Why are you guys so scared of Rickford work? Like, come on. You have Mark Benchcorp has his show. Dr. Hines has his show. I was just on the show. Sharon Duncan has a show. I was just on the show last night. Why are they scared of me? They're making me feel real important. They're making me real. So listen, guys, everybody share this link. Share this link all across the world. Get into every single social media group. Share it on Twitter, on Instagram, on everywhere. WhatsApp, email, text messages. Share the link to everybody. Get everybody to come on the link. They cannot stop me. There's nothing the PvP can do to stop me, to shut me up. So I don't know what they're trying to do. We're here, right? The broadcast is on, right? People, share the link. Now, I know why they're trying to stop me. They think that I have too much influence. They tried everything. They cursed me, they called me all kind of names, they put out all kind of letters. They sent a letter to Congress telling Congress I was convicted of all the murders that Roger Cannon and his group allegedly killed. Murder committed. They write letters to the Attorney General. They wrote letters to the State Department. They wrote letters to the U.S. Ambassador. This boy, Rickford Burke, must be really powerful, right? You would think. Oh, me, I'm a little humble New Yorker, living in my little place in New York. I don't trouble nobody. What I do, though, is speak truth to power. They're afraid of people who speak truth to power. So share the link, everybody. Keep sharing the link. They're probably going tonight, oh gosh, I thought we blocked this program. Block what program, Negroes? Well, they're not even Negroes. Block what program? I mean, you're going to disrupt the program a bit, but it's going to be there. People are going to be able to see it. We will always find a way to have this program aired. And tonight, I feel so empowered. I feel so empowered. I feel so important. Well, I know I'm important, but I feel so important to the PPP government. That they have to expend all this money and time sending the Prime Minister, sending Gail to Shearer to meet with people to try to tell them what I say is lie. This boy, Rickford Burke, really got some power. All right, keep sharing the link, everybody. I see, keep sharing the link, keep sharing the link. Now, let me tell you one of the reasons why they can't stand me, right? They think that I have too much influence in the United States. And here's why. Let's listen to what the Congressman said just last Saturday. The United States Congressman, the chairman of all of the Democrats in Congress, this is what he said about the PPP government last Saturday. Take a listen.
Elder Mitchell, we certainly are thankful for you, the president of GAME, for your leadership, all that you do for the community and this great organization, to the distinguished members of the clergy who are present, each and every one of you, to those who have assembled at this great church on this important day. Good morning. Happy Sabbath. What an honor and a blessing to be back together again after 3 years. And to see each and every one of you as we convene for this annual Guyana Day service and celebration in recognition of this great diaspora, this Guyanese American community that I am so privileged to represent in the 8th Congressional District. Sister Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, together we represent the largest community of Guyanese Americans in the United States of America. And we're very proud Very proud of that fact. And I found over the years in my representation and growing up right here in Brooklyn and having close friends who are Guyanese, like the great Rickford, that the Guyanese American community is hardworking, entrepreneurial, family-oriented, community-centered, spiritually grounded, and y'all cook great food. What a combination. Rickford knows I look forward to my pepper pot every Christmas. But I'm just thankful for this community and what it represents. And we'll continue to stand strongly behind game and the Guyanese American community, the SDA community, and certainly the folks back home in Guyana, living right now under very difficult circumstances. A government that has consistently not treated everyone consistent with the principles of equal protection under the law. And we're not going to tolerate racism here. We're not going to tolerate racism down in Guyana either. And we'll continue to do everything necessary to get things moving in a fairer, more equitable direction. And lastly, let me say, I know these are challenging times, and of course, we are dealing with COVID that still is with us and has caused so much pain and suffering and death and economic challenges connected to the pandemic, gas prices and inflationary pressures. But through it all, I'm still confident that we serve a good God. Yes, sir. Who sits high and he looks low. And while it's the government's job to perform, and yes, we're going to continue to try and create an economy that works for everyday New Yorkers and everyday Americans to lower prices and lower costs in healthcare and the high price of life-saving prescription drugs and energy costs, and to make childcare more affordable. And of course, we've got to deal with the cancer of this gun violence epidemic and make sure we can enact comprehensive immigration reform to make sure that the promise of America as a nation of immigrants can continue to be brought to life. While we've got to do all these things, it's the government's job to perform. I'm just thankful on today that we know Jesus Christ has the power to transform. And because of that fact, because we serve such a good God, I'm confident, Elder Mitchell, that together the best is yet to come. God bless you. Happy Sabbath. Happy Guyana Day.
There you go. The congressman, who's a good friend of mine for 20 years, just called the PUP government racist. Did you guys hear it? This is just last Saturday. The most powerful Black Democrat in the United States Congress, basically the most powerful African American in the United States Congress, just said the PUP government is racist and that they do not treat everybody fairly. He had to get that from Rickford. He reads, he analyzes, he listens to the news, he knows what's going on. He gets letters from his constituents. But you notice, did you guys see this video played anywhere? The press in Guyana completely blocked it out. Guyana is living under a Russian-style society. The press completely blocked it out, just like what they are trying to do now, to block out this broadcast from going to Guyana. Thank God they can't control no social media. As the people in Guyana would not even know. The congressman said that last Saturday, the 11th of June. He called the PUP government racist and said the United States government will not tolerate racism in Guyana. Now, for those of you who don't know, I mean, you guys saw him featuring during the Trump trial. He was an impeachment manager. He was one of the prosecutors that prosecuted Trump. He's the main spokesperson for the Democratic Party right now. He is a rising star. He is being described as the next speaker to replace Nancy Pelosi and the next Obama. So that man just called the PUP government racist. And members of Congress don't make statements on foreign policy, by just whims and fancy. They study these things and they get briefs and they check in with the State Department and the White House and so on before they make these comments. He just said the PP government is racist. So on that background, on that backdrop, I want to come to the murder of Quindon. Keep sharing the link, everybody. Everybody share this link. This is important. So as everybody knows, last Friday, police officers shot and killed Quindon Bacchus of Golden Grove. The shooting took place in Haslington. They allegedly lured him to the Golden Grove public market area. And during some sort of interaction, he ran and they chased him straight into Haslington and murdered him. Allegedly, there's some kind of bad beef between him and this police officer, Christoph Dinobrega from Line Top Liliendal. I'm trying to get a photograph of his house because we got to make all these things public. We got to make all these things public. So we're going to publish, we already published this photograph. We're going to publish where he lives. People must understand, we're going to publish his home address. The police force must understand that this is a modern era and they can't cover up murders anymore. They can't continue to commit crimes against humanity, crimes against people, and think we'll be silent and get upset when we act. We don't really care. So we're going to release all of the evidence in the case. We're going to release it. We have some of it, and we're going to get some more, including statements from witnesses and so on. We're going to release it. This is ridiculous. We cannot live in a society in Guyana where the PPP has returned the environment of extrajudicial killings. They created a regional force, a secret police force, where they have members from their death squad, members from their community policing groups, members from the police force, and members from the army patrolling black villages. This is a fact. And while they're doing it, they're arming their East Indian supporters. They're arming East Indian gun dealers. They're prepared, they're importing more and more ammunition. They want to fight a war of Armageddon against black people. That's a fact. They want to fight Armageddon against black people. Just like they did on the Bar Jack Dale. And if those black people in the Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force and the other forces or disciplinary services want to allow the police, racists in the PPP, to use them to slaughter slaughter blacks, then they'll be held accountable. They'll be held accountable. And Clifford Hicken and Robeson Ben and all the others in the leadership should understand that under international law, they can be prosecuted for these murders and for covering up these murders in the United States and any other jurisdiction that sign on to these international conventions. We see foreign leaders being prosecuted here. Most recently, the former president of Liberia and his son. Keep sharing the link, everybody. So they chased this man down in Golden Grove, straight to Haslington, and killed him. Shot him in the back, 5 times in the back, once in the head. And killed him. This police officer who allegedly has bad beef with Quindon Bacchus was hiding. I understand he was hiding in the car trunk. And they tried to set up this young man. That is illegal. That is illegal. That's entrapment. And then when he ran, they shot him and killed him. And listen to this. Like I have been saying to people in Guyana, nobody in Guyana must believe anything the Guyana police says. Nobody must believe any announcement, any press release, any statement the Guyana Police Force says. The Guyana Police Force is the most dishonest organization in Guyana. The Guyana Police Force is almost under Clifford Hicken, has transformed itself into a criminal entity. Everybody in Guyana should understand that. The Guyana Police Force is the police force back in the day on the Barjack Bay that committed murders and kidnappings. That's the Guyana Police Force. Don't worry with their PR activity where Clifford Hicken run around the place like, what's his name? The short man complex. Napoleon. Puffing up his chest talking about, oh, he's going to do what for young people and whatever. People, they have police officers going through all the black villages trying to entrap black people and to pin them, black youth, with guns. They tried it in Buxton. They're trying it in all the black villages. They're not doing it in East Indian villages. Well, last I checked, East Indians commit crimes equally as young black people in Guyana. But they're only targeting black because they want to criminalize the black community. They have a war on the black community in Guyana. So after they shot and killed the man, and there's video evidence. There's video evidence of it. They shot and killed the young man. And then the Guyana Police Force released a statement lying, blatantly lying. They said Quindon Bacchus was observed with a gun, and when police went to investigate, he shot at them and they returned fire and he was killed. That's it. The Guyana Police Force said that. When it is the police called the man, tried to entrap him, and when he ran, shot him in the back. They said he fired at police. There's no spent shell showing that the man fired any gun. They brought some sort of gun and produced it to the public and said the man had this gun. Bora Nancy's story. There's nothing to corroborate that. Bora and Nancy's story. Bora Nancy's story. As we say in Guyana, Bora Nancy's story. Lies. Then the villagers who witnessed this thing start objecting. People started going on social media and objecting. Everybody shared this link. Retelling the story of the murder of Quindon Bacchus. Share the link. Get into Golden Grove groups all across social media and share the link. After people started saying that they're lying, and there start to be some sort of civil activity, unrest, not unrest, but protests against what they were saying, the police issued another statement. They said, oh, no, not true. He wasn't observed with a gun. He was the target of a sting operation. And when the police caught him trying to sell an undercover cop a gun, he opened fire on the police. And he was shot in an exchange of gunfire with the police. How colorful. How fantastic. Lies. When the guy discovered that they were trying to entrap him, he ran. And they ran after him and shot him. We saw the videos. I am so sorry I don't have the video here. Lies. Dishonest. The Guyana Police Force leadership is fundamentally dishonest. And they reflect the morality of their leaders and the government. The government wants to Guyana police force to be dishonest when they're dealing with the black community. Since Clifford Hicken came, since the PP came in, the Guyana police force has lost every ounce of integrity. The police force has no credibility, none whatsoever. If a policeman tell you, run, don't run, stand up. Because everything these police officers will do on behalf of the police force is dishonest. Dishonest. I'm trying to understand how they are being successful in some of these investigations because they're planting evidence, planting false statement. Every time there's a killing of a black person in Guyana by the police, they put out false information. And if you think I'm kidding, let's examine them. Peter Headley, police murdered. Police put out a statement lying about the version of events. Or in Boston, shot in his sleep. They kick open the man's door and go and shoot him in his bed, sleeping with his wife. Then they put out a statement saying he was shot in a confrontation with police. Confrontation in his dreams. The man was shot in his bed. Shot in his bed. Not me say so. The police eventually gave evidence in court that I heard, saying when they heard the gunshot and they went to see the man lying in his bed, shot. Then Kevin Andrews from Grove, East Bank, Demerara. Police carried him out from town and shooting in some pasture in Grove and said he was shot during a shootout with the police. They murdered the guy. There was no gun. The guy had no gun. And now, Bacchus, they issued one version first, like I said. They said the man was observed with a gun. When police went after him, he shot at them and they returned fire. And he was killed. Then the people in Golden Grove started to protest and object. Some people videotaped it. It started to circulate on social media. They realized that they were caught in a lie. They issued a second statement. Oh, he was the target of an intelligence operation. He was the target of a killer who had beef with him over allegedly some girl. Shot him and killed him. And tomorrow we're going to release the names of the other officers who were involved in this murder. He was shot 6 times. Quindon Bacchus was shot 6 times. I actually know the family. I lived in Golden Grove for a while as a little child. And I know some members of his family who have been contacting me. Keep sharing the link. Then a third version emerged. The Guyana Police Commissioner, acting commissioner, went to the family and apologized. If somebody was shooting at the police, why would the police apologize when they have statutory mandate to defend themselves? Why would police apologize? Then they said, okay, this matter is going to be investigated by the Police Complaints Authority. Police Complaints Authority? Has anyone heard of that before? Unless you're involved in government and are involved in law enforcement, nobody knows what that is. It's an obscure, obsolete office created by the Constitution to investigate police misconduct. Not police crimes, police misconduct. This matter should be investigated by some independent thinking police officers working in conjunction with the FBI or Scotland Yard to gather the facts, present them to the Director of Public Prosecutions. And this officer must be charged with murder. It was premeditated, it was planned. He murdered this young man. We don't care about no Police Complaints Authority. Scrap that plan, police force. Clifford Hicken, scrap that plan. That is nonsense. Let this matter be investigated by international law enforcement officers working along with some members of the Guyana Police Force, and let the file go to the DPP. Now, I understand that this young man has a history of threatening to kill people. He's always threatening to kill people. I'll shoot you in your head. Several people contacted me saying that, including females that he threatened. I understand that he shot somebody within the last 2 years, and he was interdicted from duty. But the DPP never sanctioned the matter. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm not in Guyana. He also threatened to kill people who are in his extended family. So he's a bad man. And now Clifford Hicken is telling us, but he has him under close arrest. Arrest the man and charge him with murder. Arrest him and charge him with murder. It's a pity that we don't have the death sentence in Guyana, or at least it's on hold. There's a moratorium on the death sentence in Guyana, because this is a classic case for him to be hung. You can't chase down somebody's child and murder them because you don't like what they're doing, or because they're dating your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend, or whatever the circumstances. How would he like for somebody to do that to his family member? But I want to focus a little bit on the Guyana Police Force. There must be some sort of investigation, a commission of inquiry, to determine how, in God's great name, well, can't even associate God with that, but how the Guyana Police Force came to issue these mendacious statements. How it is that an entire police force, every time there's a police-involved shooting, puts out this misleading information to the public. In order for the Guyana Police Force to regain its integrity, one, you got to remove the entire leadership that they have now. Two, there must be some investigation. Must be some investigation into the operation of the Guyana Police Force under the PPP. And the acting police commissioner is no example. He too was in command of an operation in Linden where the PPP government sent them to monitor protesters. And his officer shot and killed the protesters. And they covered it up. So what do you expect the junior ranks to do when the commissioner acting himself has been in command of a unit that murdered Black people in Linden on behalf of the PPP? Excuse me, on behalf of the PPP. Then they had a whitewash commission of inquiry. And the police said all kind of nonsense. They don't know who gunfire, they didn't find this, they didn't know who that, who fired what gun, they didn't know who had gun, they didn't know if it's the protesters' gun or the police gun or a boogeyman in a hole somewhere in a bush. That was the police testimony. And you know what? We as a society accepted that. Boston was murdered, we accepted that. Kevin Andrews was murdered, we accepted it. 1,400 people were murdered by the PPP Phantom Death Squad, we accepted it. So somehow maybe we Black people in Guyana like being killed, or we Guyanese, period. We like being killed. We like being killed by the PPP. We love to be mistreated by the PPP. Because when these things happened, the Henry boys murdered by PPP supporters, and the PPP government was so blatant enough to just protect the killers. They protected the killers to help with your Black people. That means we people is giving money like, you know, somebody to kill y'all 2 people. So, but I see the people in Golden Grove protesting. And the people in Golden Grove, they're doing the right thing. They're protesting. But I don't believe protest is enough. Protest without action is a waste of time. I believe that the only time the PPP government responds is when you add severe pressure. And severe pressure is when you disrupt commerce, when you disrupt the business, the ability of their supporters to do business. That's when you get results. And that's what the people of Guyana must do. Disrupt commerce in the country. Send the message. Disrupt commerce in the country. Most dishonest police force. Every time the PUP goes into power, the police force becomes a killing squad for racists. And they get away with it. This has nothing to do with the opposition, Omar. I'm seeing your comment. This has nothing to do with opposition. This has to do with the people of Guyana. The people of Guyana must drive the agenda. The people are the most powerful people. If the people of Guyana begin to rise up against injustices and racism, they'll get results. But people in the Black community in Guyana, they only want to go to Skank Show and Dexter Dobb Show and Patrice Roberts Show and pose off and drink Guinness and party and drink Casamigo, whatever it is, and they're satisfied with life. You have to start standing up and speaking out, people. We're tired saying that. Don't depend on the congressman and the congresswoman and the Biden administration and the US ambassador. You take action. I'm tired saying that. The people in Golden Grove are taking action. We want to see that in Victoria and Anns Grove and Mahika and East Coast and Borbice and Linden. When they kill one of us, they kill all of us. And that's why tonight I'm announcing that CGID will sponsor up to 1,000 t-shirts for young people to use to attend the funeral of Quindon Bacchus that says, I am Quindon Bacchus. I am Quindon Bacchus. And we want all the mothers in Golden Grove and the women in Golden Grove to wear a t-shirt that says, Quindon Bacchus is my son. Because when they kill one young person, they kill all of our children. So look out for those t-shirts. And anybody in the diaspora who wants to contribute to the printing of these t-shirts, just contact me. I'll designate a person tomorrow to coordinate that. We will produce the t-shirts and get them in Guyana in time, or have them printed in Guyana in time for the funeral. So guys, if you guys print t-shirts, I was trying to get onto the 592 guys earlier, I was not successful. Make contact with me, send me a message on Facebook if you print t-shirts. We want to get those t-shirts out to the village. The t-shirts would have his photograph and it would say, I am Quindon Bacchus for the young people. And for the women, Quindon Bacchus is my son. And wear that to the funeral. Send that message. When you kill one, you kill all. When you kill one of our young people, you kill our children. Or that's our child. You're killing our child. That's our son. Thanks, Novella. Novella Noble just said she's going to contribute to 500. And by the way, Novella's from Golden Grove as well. Novella Noble is from Golden Grove as well. So that now it will be 1,500 t-shirts because Novella will contribute 500. Sorry, did I additional 500? Okay, good. Yeah, she said 500 t-shirts. So now it will be 1,500 t-shirts. And anybody else who wants to contribute, contact me. We want to flood the streets with young people on the funeral day that says, I am Quindon Bacchus. Let the government see that they're murdering our young people. And I will talk to the attorney, Darren, soon, and I'm going to have him on my program. And we're going to plan this. We're going to plan this. So anybody who wants to contribute to the printing of these t-shirts, contact me. If you have my number, call me or text me. Don't call me, text me, please. I get too many calls. Message me on Facebook and I'll respond and I'll tell you how to get the cash to the person coordinating it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, there's something going on in Guyana where the GDF, this regional police force, a mixture of a combination of the police, PVP, police community groups, and the GDF. These people, all of these have black heads. Why in God's name they're allowing the people, the PVP, to force them to violate the rights of black people, their own children? Why in God's name they're doing this? Why in God's name are black police officers feeling empowered by racists to kill their own? And I want to make it very clear. I don't condone violence. But at some point in time, the police is going to wake up to a reality where people are targeting them in Guyana. And that will be their own doing and the doing of this PVP government because they're not ensuring justice whenever there are police abuses and excesses and when police brutality occurs. They're not pursuing justice. And this must not be the case where they tell the people of Golden Grove and the mother of Quindon Bacchus and his family, stick it. I want to warn again. I said it last night on Sheriff Duncan's program. I said it earlier tonight on Dr. David Hines' program, Politics 101. Whenever societies like Guyana's do not ensure justice, do not ensure social justice, do not ensure that the criminal justice system works fairly for everybody, there will be a complete breakdown and citizens will take matters into their own hands. I am warning that this is going to happen in Guyana if the government doesn't ensure justice for these kinds of murders. They feel encouraged and empowered because they got away with the murder, the Roger Can death squad murders of 1,400 black people, and people are saying it's 400, it's 1,400, over 1,400. Some of those people are still missing. Some of the people are still missing. So I want to wrap up tonight by calling on Guyanese, all of the black youth in Guyana, to be alert. Be alert. They're trying to lure you. They're trying to entrap you because they want to kill you. People, ex-military officers, you are the target because they know that you have weapons training and they believe that you're a threat to them. If you're not an active member that they could co-opt or coerce, they're targeting young black men who are from the military and the police. Any joint service, fire, prison, they're targeting these people for elimination. They're trying to entrap them, plant guns on them. They did it to a young man in Buxton, 2 young people in Buxton. They now did it to Quindon Bacchus. And there are reports all across black villages on the East Coast where the police is trying to befriend people by asking them to come and work for them as a farm person, and if they know where to buy guns and so on, and then entrap them. Be on alert. And the people of Golden Grove and up and down the East Coast stand up and demand justice for Quindon Bacchus. Stand up and demand justice. Don't stop your protest. That's the constitutional right. The PPP is trying to outlaw protest. They're buying water cannons and they're buying pellet guns and pellets, ammunition and whatever to shoot black people. They're arming themselves and their own East Indian supporters who are gun dealers. They can't dispute that. If they want, we can produce the weapons. We can produce the inventory of weapons going into Guyana. We can do it. Recently, we saw a whole shipment of guns and ammunition destined for Guyana that was held in Senegal. They can't dispute that. The PPP government wants a war with black people, and they're using our own black people to instigate it. And then they come up and talk about, oh, we have a governance model of equality in one Guyana. One Guyana, where the sun doesn't shine. Maybe one East Indian Guyana, yes. And not even one East Indian Guyana, one PPP East Indian, because they're disrespecting and discriminating against East Indians that don't support them. And we must stand up and protect and defend those East Indians as well, and the Amerindians and people of mixed race. Together, we're the majority. The black population, the East Indians that don't support the PPP, the Amerindians that don't support the PPP, and the mixed race that don't support, we are the majority. Why are we allowing the PPP to run roughshod over us? The PPP has one seat in parliament more than the opposition. One. Y'all believe that? One. Or any one single seat. And they operated like they own the country. In some countries, they would not be able to govern. Everything would be gridlock. But they think they own the country because they can intimidate people. That's their governance model. Use police to conduct vendetta, to intimidate people, shoot and kill you. Again, I want to warn, there was a time in Guyana when police officers were scared to death to come off their duty with their uniform. And what led to that? Because of these same types of police brutality, these types of incidents of police brutality. That's what, and that's where they're taking the country back. So let me close by again calling on the people all up and down the East Coast, regardless of your race, stand up and fight for justice for Quindon Bacchus. Stand up and fight for justice for Quindon Bacchus. We got to end this nonsense right now. We can't allow 1,400 more Quindon Bacchuses like the PP did on the Bar Jack deal. And they can do it again because Bar Jack there has a liberty of walking around Guyana right now. He should not have that liberty. He should be in jail. He should face justice. And then, they came up to the United States and they're telling people here, oh, most of the people that were killed were criminals. Well, should we all determine who were criminals in Guyana? Because as far as I'm concerned, there are 4 criminals, including 5 criminals, including 1 convicted in the cabinet. Right now. Right now. They're convicted convicted criminals and killers in this current PPP cabinet. Would they like us to do what they did to those people? Just call them criminals and execute them? No, because that's not how democratic societies work. We believe in the rule of law and justice. There's a process. If you believe a man has committed a crime, charge him, go and present the evidence before a court of law, let the court pronounce. You don't get to be the judge, jury, and executioner where you kill people and call them criminals, and then come to the United States and boast and tell people, well, the murders were justified because most of those people were criminals. The PPP is the single country in the Caribbean that hates their whole governance is built on hatred for the African Guyanese community. And I don't know how those black ministers like Utah and Onish Waldron and Joseph Hamilton and Mark Phillips and Wanajil, well, he's in a class by himself, can sit there in a cabinet and switch off their blackness and just go along with it. These guys are beyond house slaves. They have just ingratiated themselves into the PPP philosophy of dehumanizing and criminalizing black people to promote ethnic superiority, and them sit down there thinking that they're on the ethnic side of the PPP. Saying nothing. Not one of those ministers can issue a statement expressing concern for the murder of Quindon Bacchus. Who the hell are these people? Who are they? Not once has anybody in the government not once has anyone in the government expressed concern for the murder, police murder of any black person. Not once, not even Mark Phillips. A man who understands what justice should be and law and order. Not once. They don't have a mind of their own. What barja they go do to them? Have them kidnapped too? Nobody in the government has come out, not even the government, and then they're talking about one Guyana. Listen, there's reason why the entire black population should be against the PPP. Because the PPP hates the black population. And you see, when they point these things out, they say, I am racist. No, I'm fighting racism. And that's what they call Martin Luther King. And that's what they call Nelson Mandela. So I'm proud that I'm in good company. I wear that as a badge of honor, that they can call me a racist for standing up and fighting for the rights of African Guyanese. I'm proud of it. And not only fighting for the rights of Afro-Guyanese, fighting for the rights of Guyanese who are under subjugation by the PPP, including East Indians and Amerindians and people of mixed race. I'm proud. And so they have this strategy where they try to conflate PPP with Indians. So anytime you criticize the PPP, they go and tell their supporters, oh, Rickford workers criticizing Indian people. They're marching against Indian people. But Guyanese are smart enough. Only the dumb cult members of the PPP, racists themselves, know that that is nonsense. But it's a strategy to deter us from fighting their racism. It's a strategy to intimidate us. Hey, listen, we're from New York. We're New Yorkers. We don't get intimidated. Y'all are racist. And y'all have a bunch of racists supporting y'all. Not every East Indian in Guyana is a racist, but every racist in Guyana voted for the PPP. Believe you me, every racist in Guyana voted for the PPP. And like I always said, and I end on this note, they're perfectly patriotic, law-abiding, wonderful human beings in Guyana who are East Indians who don't support the PPP's racist agenda. And we must support those people. We must empower those people to speak out. We must protect those people. So let me finally say, I look forward to the people of Golden Grove fighting for justice. We in the diaspora, as you can see, as we have demonstrated, stand with you. 100%, no questions asked. We stand with you. We're going to produce those t-shirts. We're going to get them to every young person in Golden Grove. And I want you all to flood the streets of the East Coast or Golden Grove or wherever the funeral will be held with those t-shirts that say, I am Quindon Bacchus. And mothers, wear your t-shirts, or the women, wear your t-shirts that say, Quindon Bacchus is my son. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. And everybody, remember, tune in on Sunday. I think it's at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. I can't remember. For the Vice News series on Guyana for Sale that's highlighting the corruption of Bar Jagdeo. Everybody tune in. I will be carrying it live on all of my pages. They're going to work to shut down my pages by then. They can't stop it. Vice News next Sunday, 8 p.m. on Showtime. If you don't got Showtime, buy Showtime, pay for Showtime, download Showtime. The entire Guyanese population will be watching Showtime on Sunday. And I will be carrying it live, my people, live. So in the meantime, and then I'll do a live program after that on Sunday night at 10 o'clock to have analysis by myself and some others on the corruption of Bar Jagdeo and whether or not he should face international prosecution. All right? Have a good night, everybody. I am Quindon Bacchus.